Greetings, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to share with you an experience I had the other day. I was invited to share in a friend's birthday, a turning of the sun, and we joined together on Zoom. And of course, we were all celebrating her. But we were not just celebrating her birthday, we were celebrating that she had come through a challenging year in her health. But she started by saying that she felt like this was a love bomb for herself, but also for all of us because of all that we've been all going through. And I left that circle feeling the power of love and how it is love that heals, and it is love that, holds us in everything. And these words came to me that love does not discriminate, love is not biased, love knows justice, love heals, love sees, love loves, and love is. And this is who we are. We all felt so uplifted and at home and joyful, even amidst the storms that are happening. This is who we are. And I think it's so important to remember that, because when we can connect to the love that we are, then we have so much more to give and to serve the world. And because then I was thinking about the protests and the protesters, and I thought, this really is love in action. It is an act of love that people are standing and raising their voices to be heard in the name of justice and equality, in the name of love, because we are all made of that, everyone, without one exception. So I recognize that amidst all of this and amidst the sea of love, emotions arise. There's despair at times, I know it myself, and hopelessness and worry and fear. But we have the tools to meet it and to hold them in the arms of love, to love on ourselves and love on each other even more. I was listening the other night to Jack Kornfield, a wonderful teacher, and he said so many things, and I'll share with you more, but one of the things he asked was, what would love have me do? And that's such a wonderful reflection. What would love have me do? Maybe love would have me protest. Maybe love would have me pray. Maybe love would have me help feed people. Maybe love would have me stay home. What would love have me do? And also recognizing that amidst all the storms that are happening, that Jack said this, he said, there are 1 billion acts of kindness happening at the same time. And that is our world. That is where we live. So today I invite us into the arms, the hands of love, to be held by the truth of who we are. Today will be a yin yoga meditation practice. So please have with you, you might or might not need the blocks or an extra blanket, a bolster. And take a moment and find that. Whatever you really need for your practice. If you'd like to have a journal to make any notes or a reflection at the end, it's always nice to have nearby. And so on this day, we really invoke the spirit of love, the spirit of compassion, to be here with us today. Before we sit today, if you would take a blanket, we'll start in a yin a pose anyway, and then we'll sit for a while. So take a blanket and spread it across your mat. We'll spread our knees wide Now, if you have any problems with your knees, if there are any issues, then come onto your back. Otherwise, bring your knees onto your blanket and just gently press your buttocks back. And then allow the belly and the heart to pour forward. You can start by coming on to your forearms and then spread your elbows and let your torso come over into child. And if you're on your back, please draw your knees into your chest. And allow this pose of the child for just a few moments to be a posture of love, of self-nourishing. Like the child in the womb of the arms of the all-loving mother. And then bring your hands out in front and just lift your buttocks off your heels. Spread your knees very wide as it's comfortable, with your toes towards each other. And then gently press your buttocks back to your heels. If you're on your backs, gently just draw your knees wide, holding either behind your knees or around your shins. And with that gentle press, come on to your forearms again. Continue a gentle press in the elbows. If it feels appropriate, you can spread the elbows and let the torso come down a little further, or rest one fist over the other, rest the forehead. Or take a block, or rest palm one on the other. And settle into Widening Child. And we begin by feeling where we are right here. You find the place that feels appropriate for you. That's really a metaphor for our life, but right here in the body. Any more too much, any less not enough. Find an edge that is manageable. A place where we learn to grow in tolerance. That really also is an act of love, to grow in tolerance. And then scan around in the body so that we encourage the muscles to be passive. And when you meet a place of tension, take a breath and relax what you can. We come to meet ourselves with love. Can we love on ourselves even more? Any tension, any worry, any fear. And then we just stay a while, letting this body and mind and heart settle in, settle down. So whenever you notice a tension in the body or the mind or the heart arise, remember we invoke the spirit of love and compassion. Take a breath, relax what you can. Watch the mind and the heart, feel into the heart. As I was thinking about what to share with you today, it came clear at some point that love was the topic. And then I remembered Hafi's poem, and it's called "The Subject Tonight is Love." So maybe today, the subject tonight is love, he says, and for tomorrow night as well. As a matter of fact, I know of no better topic for us to discuss until we all die. I know of no better subject to discuss or to contemplate, because love is who we are. Whatever else arises. And it's true, these are feelings that happen. They deserve our attention and love. So now just allow your breath to grow long and silky smooth for this last few seconds if you've not already. And then to release, if you're on your back, simply draw your knees together and give yourself a nice hug. If you're on your knees, bring your hands to the floor, bring your buttocks off your heels, lift one knee in towards the center and then the other, and press back into that pose of nurturing and caring, back into the child. And pause there for a few moments to feel, just feel where you are. And as you breathe, breathe that a waterfall of love. This universe is made of love. And then please come back up to sitting gently. You can take that blanket and use it, fold it so you can come once again to sit on it as we come to the edge of our seat. So, gently sitting towards the front of your cushion or your blanket. Get grounded and grow long. And you know, every practice we do really is an act of love for ourselves. It's a way of connecting to the stream of love, right, that flows through us and is us. So grounded and long in the body. Let the eyes first just open and gaze around. It's always important to see what is around you. Take in the world. And then gently let the eyes close. And as you close the eyes or a soft gaze, take in the inner world, the inner vision. As you meet yourself, come as you are and meet yourself fully as a friend. Notice what it feels like to be sitting here in this body, in this mind and heart, whatever is here. It's not that you have to meet only the pleasant places with love, but even the unpleasant. It all lives here. It's all about being human. And though our true essential nature is love, it manifests in this human form. And as we take refuge in that place of love, some call it loving awareness, some call it our Buddha nature, just love itself, or the Buddha. And so I like to take a few moments to remind myself, right? Take refuge. Remember who we are. This is a place that's always here, a sanctuary in your own heart. So from now until I fully awaken, I vow to take refuge in loving awareness, my true home, or in love, my true home. and touch it for a moment. Recognize that. And I vow to take refuge in the path of loving awareness, the road that leads me home, the, the precious gift of practices and teachings that turn us back to who we are. And I vow to take refuge in the Sangha, my teachers, my friends, my spiritual family. We can feel all of those beings who aspire to live awake, who hold you, hold me, hold you up. And then I remind myself that from now until all beings experience liberation, I will bring benefit and happiness to all without one exception. From now and all till all beings experience liberation, I will bring benefit and happiness to all. And just feel how this is a vow of love. Hmm. Hmm. So as we have called in the spirit of love and compassion, we wish for all beings. We can take these few minutes to let this be a time of blessing. May all beings, or may you feel safe, content, and healthy and strong. You might think about all of those who are struggling and lost. We wish, as Jack Kornfield said the other night so beautifully, may, as we bring into our awareness our loved ones, perhaps those that are protesting to all beings, to ourselves, may you be held in compassion. May you hold yourself with kindness. You might even picture that person or those beings as a child who's exhausted, and how naturally we reach out wishing for all beings, may your sorrows, may your struggles be eased, may you live with a peaceful heart. To all of our brothers and sisters, all and anyone who have known discrimination, injustice. In the name of love, we let their tears touch our heart. We send well-wishing. May you feel safe. May you feel protected. May you know love. May you find ease. And then for a few moments, if you would just begin now in your own mind to think about in your own life all of the beings who have loved you, all of the people. Some you may have not even known, but they have loved you into being. Family, teachers. Just think about all of the beings who have loved you into being who you are. And as they appear to you, a blessing for them. May you be at ease. My gratitude to you. Mm. 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 Thank you. And once again, let your circle grow wider to touch all hearts. May you feel safe and protected. May you live with ease. May you know love. And then gently bringing your hands in prayer at your own heart and bowing to your own tender heart. Namaste, Jai Bhagwan. We see the light and the love in our own heart and each other. And so we're going to do, these are some of my go-to poses. So I thought I'd share them with you. And so to begin, let's just slide our feet away. Slide your feet away, making a little diamond shape here. And then a little dog tilt, gentle hinge at the hips, and gently round the spine. So it's an allowing the spine to round. In this way, the vertebrae begin to decompress. And you can support yourself with a block or a blanket or your hands. And let this be an act of kindness for yourself, an act of love. If you're the kind of person that tends to go to your hardest edge, perhaps today you back off a little bit. How can we find ease? How can we love ourselves? What is needed? What would love have me do? So let's begin by letting the breath be an expression of our love. As we invite it to grow long and silky smooth and deep. And let it nourish any place that might feel closed or held or afraid. And then find the rhythm of your breath. 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm. See where the inhale goes and let the exhale match it. And so there's nothing to turn away from. But we don't need to run into the stories. We might notice some story arises, we get a little self-righteous, But we can then stop ourselves. It's a sign that something else is happening. So there you might notice there's worry, or there's anger, or there's fear. And then the way to work with that is go right to the body, this blessed body, and notice where you feel maybe a tightening in the chest or the belly, or perhaps the breath has grown short, perhaps a holding in the shoulders or right behind the heart. And then you can simply take a breath as best you can right into that feeling. Not to get rid of it, but just to bring love to it, to bring a softness to it, to acknowledge it. It might feel tight or warm. So really meeting it as it is, not the story behind it. Notice where it starts and where it ends. As you breathe, do the edges soften around it? And we know that really everything we feel in this world, others have felt or are feeling right now. And so no longer are we us and them, but we, it is us. And so we breathe in our tears. And as we breathe out a softness, the heart of compassion. Another moment or two. See where your body wants to go with this. Does it want to go a little further? Does it need a little less? And then gently bring your hands to the floor and let the torso rise back up. Stretch the legs out. Lean back. Just kind of collapse or sink. I want to say collapse, but just sink into the shoulders. If the body feels taxed, take your breath there. Feel the effect of where you've been. This is really our life journey, to feel our actions and the results of our actions. And then we know, was that a wise action? Was that an action of love? And then gently come back up to sitting. Our next pose will be a yin sphinx. So come to rest on your belly. I like to have a blanket out in front in case I want to raise up a little bit. So as you come on your belly, you can spread your elbows, take your hands one over the other and rest your head. And take a breath or two there. And let your body settle down. Let your legs fall out naturally. Your lower back relax. Let everything just settle down. And then bring yourself up onto your elbows. The elbows are a little bit in front of your shoulders. And you take them shoulders width by taking hold around the elbows. And your hands can come out in a prayer. They can support the forehead or the chin. You can use a block, or if you want to rise up a little bit, you just take your elbows on a blanket. So find your place that feels appropriate for you. And then as you feel the earth rise up to meet your legs and your belly, can you let go a little more there? Give way to being held in the arms of Mother Earth there. Feel the back and how it can settle down and in. The spine settles into the back. the muscles relax like feathers along the spine. And feel right behind the back of the heart. Take your breath and your awareness there. How is the back of this heart feeling today? And then let the breath grow long and silky smooth. Hmm. You know, as I read, I keep finding all of the great masters keep reminding us that we can turn the anger into love, into compassion, if we meet it as it is. Swami Kripalu, a great yogi named Kripalu named for him, he said he's a pilgrim on the path of love. He said, truly, the wise proclaim that love is the only path. Love is the only scripture. Impress this verse upon your memory and chant it constantly if you want to realize your dreams of growth. Love is the wish-fulfilling stone. Only love can bring unity and remove the separation between all living beings. Love is as close as your heart. You can find it living there without walking a single step. He says, love is my only path. I am, in fact, a pilgrim on the path of love. He continues to remind us that every living being is a stream of love. Let us allow someone to taste our love, and let us taste someone else's love. Love flowing in another's life is the source of our happiness, and the love flowing in our own life is the source of another's happiness. Thus, the key to your heart lies hidden in the heart of another. So what would love have me do? Take a few more moments here and settle in. Settle into the warm embrace of love. Whatsoever is here, all is welcome here. Another breath or two. And to release, spread the elbows wide. Let one hand rest over the other and rest your forehead on your hands. And pause there and feel what you feel. If there's any place that feels taxed, take your breath there as an act of love. You don't have to turn away from any pain, any sorrow, or just a little taxing. Nothing to turn away from, but to meet it with the heart, as Sharon Salzberg says, as wide as the world, a heart as wide as the world. And then right from where you are, If you would roll over onto your back, you might like to have that blanket near your side as we'll move into a knee down twist, and you might like to use that. So as you are on your back, bring your feet to standing. Take a few moments here. And allow the natural curves of your spine as the shoulders slide down and the neck grows long and the sacrum touches the earth. Mm. Maybe you can visualize I'm looking up now at a canopy of the trees over me, and I do feel that amazing love of nature and these trees that are shining over me and holding me. Maybe you can imagine that yourself. Hmm. And as we move into a knee down twist, your options are to bend both knees in and roll over, or we'll do one foot. So to begin, step into your feet, lift your hips and shift them to the left. You'll rest a little bit more on your right hip, and then either draw both knees in or stretch your right leg out. Bring your left foot above your right knee on the thigh and roll over now toward your right hip. If your left shoulder is coming off, shift your shoulders a bit and drop your left shoulder back down to the earth and stretch that left arm. You can take your right hand on the outside of the left leg and ease in. Without pressing out through your heel or engaging in any way, just find now that perfect edge of sensation for yourself. Mm. And as you feel the flow of breath, feel how there's a natural stream and a movement, how the body bobs a little bit in and out. Mm. And I know most of you are familiar with ujjayi, that gentle contraction in the back of your throat. Let that slow the breath down a little bit more. And if you can, stretch out through the left arm. It'll help to nourish all of the meridians in the arm, and including that of the heart meridian, but also the large and small intestine meridian, the lung meridian. Mm. 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 The great master Thich Nhat Hanh, affectionately known as Thai, reminds us that through the practice of mindfulness, we can meet whatever arises. In fact, the practice is to turn, to face it, to in a way embrace it. Hello, worry, anger, despair. To feel it. Mm. To go beyond the story, while yet we might see the root of where it arises from. But in this way, we transform these unwholesome states into both wholesome states and into love itself, reminding us of who we are. In these last few moments, just invite the body to see if it wants to go just a little bit further. And then release the right hand, let the left knee roll back up, the hips back to the center. Bring both feet to standing if they're not. Lift the hips and shift them back to the center. And pause for a moment. Feel the effect of where you've been. This is so important. Only if we pay attention do we know if what we've done is a wise way to behave, is a wise thing, is a virtuous way to behave, a nourishing way, a loving way. Over the next few moments, please press into your feet, lift your hips and shift them to the right now, resting more on your left hip. Make your choice if you're drawing both knees in or one. If it's one, extend your left leg. Bring your right foot to stand on your left thigh. Take a breath and roll over to the left. And then shift your upper body just a little bit so your right shoulder blade can come to the floor. Remember, that's your ground. Your left hand can be on your right knee and your right arm extended. And you find your perfect edge, the place where you can stay and breathe, the place where toleration can grow. The place where you can be mindful of all that arises and not push it away, not grasp it. Recognize that all conditions arise and pass. All conditions arise and pass. Let your Ujjayi breath be a companion for you. And just to clear the energy channels, bring your breath and awareness down right below your navel as you just take some breaths in and out there. Let the breath grow long and silky smooth. As you next inhale, visualize the breath sweeping from right below the navel down under the perineum, up along the back of the spine, over the crown, to the third eye, the center of the forehead, and pause there for 2 counts. 1 Om, 2 Om. As you exhale, let it flow down the front of the spine, right back down to the second center. 1 Om, 2 Om. And you continue in that way, sweeping awareness and breath down and up along the back of the spine, over the crown to the third eye where you pause. And as you exhale, down along the front of the spine, right down below the navel, where again you pause. So continue in that way for a few more breaths. And then the next time you exhale, let that doing a breath fall away, but rest now in that center, that second center right below the navel. And as you inhale, feel there is a gathering of energy. And as you exhale, a storing, gathering, and storing. And then allow any doing of breath to release. Let yourself be breathed for these last few moments in this pose. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I smile. And then release the hand. Draw the knees back up to center. Shift your hips back to the center. Pause there for a moment. And don't miss the gift of the release of the pose. And then take these next few moments to let your body respond in the most loving way with anything it might need. Perhaps the knees want to come to the chest or move into another pose. Perhaps a gentle stretch somewhere, somehow. So as you touch into the energy that you are, it really is the energy of love that you are. And it is that energy that is guiding you right now. What would love have me do right now? Reach into that a little bit more. And what would love have me do now? And now. And then take these last few moments to ask how to bring this to completion. And then have the body just show you how to find its way to rest. Have all the props you might need near you. And then come to rest on your back. You might like to have something over your eyes or something under your knees or something to cover you. Or a small, thin support for the head or the neck. And then let your body just splay out here on the earth. Be willing to take up space. You might like to have a hand on your belly, one on your heart. Or perhaps out by your side, open. Inquire, experiment, see what feels just right. What would love have you do right now as you take rest? Mm. And then take a little time to scan the body as you rest. Let it start right in the crown of your head and just feel the crown of the head. Hmm. Hmm. You could even invite the crown to open or relax. Hmm. And then allow awareness to come down as that open relaxation comes down to the muscles of your face. Hmm. Perhaps simply resting there allows and invites a relaxation. Hmm. And then invite that awareness and openness down into the neck and the shoulders. And whatever you meet there is just there. Perhaps just simply meeting it invites that softness. You're okay just as you are. And then that awareness flows down through the arms and right into the palms of your hands. Mm. You might notice a sense of tingling or warmth there. You might even notice the space around the hands as an energy, just by bringing your presence, by bringing your love. And then as you next take a breath, let that energy and awareness flow up the arms, over the shoulders, into the heart space. Mm. And that love and presence flows down into the solar plexus. Perhaps like a warm healing light as it flows down into the soft belly. Mm. You can even let go into that presence and love and light, anything, just through your intention that's not needed. Hmm. And then that presence and love and energy flows down through the legs. You become aware of the feet, the tops, and the bottoms. Mm. And then, as you just take a breath, you just feel the energy that you are. Mm. And you rest in that. Rest in love. Love, 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 love. People, we are made of love. Love each other as thyself, for we are one. Love, 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 love. People, we are made to love. Love each other as thyself, for we are one. people, we are made of love. Love each other as thyself, for we are one. Mm-hmm. As you hear the sound of the bell and the sound of my voice, simply inviting awareness back through the sense doors. Perhaps you hear sounds in the room, in your room. And allow the second bell to invite a little more awareness in through the body as you stretch and reach. And gradually draw your knees into your chest and roll over to one side. Here in the fetal pose, not unlike the child we did at the beginning. Again, holding yourself so tenderly. And then bring your hands to the floor and let this final bell invite you up to sitting. And come to sit at the edge of your cushion or blanket. And just take a few moments to feel where you are now. As the breath breathes this body. As you rest back in that place of awareness. To meet the body and the mind and the heart from that place of love. No, let all be welcome here. And then please go inward a little more and reflect on our time together and what might stand out for you. Any insights, highlights? And then a little bit further to love itself, to loving awareness, a place where both wisdom and compassion reside. And love you no matter what. And so given all that's happened and given my life, what are these insights and highlights? What is that? How can I take this into my life? What is the metaphor for my life? And then just listen for a few moments. Perhaps a phrase or a few words or a feeling comes to you. And then repeat the phrase or the words back to yourself. Let it really fill your heart and your being. You might even bring your hand to your heart. And then as it fills you to the brim, take a breath. And as you exhale, send these wisdom and blessings out to everyone and everything, everywhere. And in this way, may we dedicate the merit of our time together, of this practice of love, to reach out to touch all hearts everywhere. May all beings know happiness. May all know peace and love and justice. May equality and freedom prevail. May peace prevail. And may this reach out to touch all hearts everywhere, without one exception. And know that in this way it comes back to you manyfold. So we take a bow of gratitude for all of our time together and the blessings of teachings and the company we share. And let's close with our dedicating mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We'll start with the sound of Om, chant the mantra 3 times, and end with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So taking a breath, please. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings everywhere know peace and joy and love and light. May peace and love prevail. And as we bring our hands to our own hearts, bowing to honor the heart of love that you are, from my heart to yours, Jai Bhagwan, Namaste. Take care of yourselves, and may we take care of each other. Blessings to you until we see each other again.